Asher and Pipeman on W4CY Radio.
Wake up, America! It's time for the Adventures of Pipeman on W4CY.com, West Palm Beach's #1 internet radio station. Here's your host, the Pipeman.
Cross me out, write another ending. Tell me off, whatever you're pretending. Had enough when all you do is run me down. Another doubt, another day resenting all the lies, the story that you're feeding. Back it up, I'm tired of the runaround.
This is the Pipeman here on the Adventures of Pipeman W4CY Radio, and I'm excited about our next guest because they're like doing some dates with some of the coolest people in metal and hard rock, man, that I'm very excited about. So let's welcome to the show Brendan from Nocturnal Affair. The Nocturnal Affair, how are you? So you're returning to Europe. I just got back from Europe, and yeah, I'd like to go with you.
Come on with us. Let's go. We'll make it a party.
I know, right?
We're going back to the UK for the third time, but this is our first time to mainland Europe.
Nice. Yeah. And so, question, you might not want to answer this, though. Do you prefer the UK or Europe as far as playing and audiences, or is it even?
Oh, well, like I said, this is our first time in mainland Europe.
Oh, well, it's your first time in Europe, so,
So
we'll have to find that out after the fact then.
But I honestly love the UK. I wish the rest of America was as passionate about concerts as the people in the UK are. Now, I'm not saying people are not passionate in America. People are, but people are passionate for
it's different,
right? Yeah, there's not a lot of extreme excitement for openers these days. You go out and you see people like, they don't know who you are. They're kind of just doing the like, yeah, let's see who this band is.
And I do a lot of festivals, and there's people that complain if like their favorite band dropped out of the festival. Like, that's the only reason I was going to the festival. Like, that's not why you go to a festival. Go to their concert then.
Yeah, but with what we found with the UK is
not at all.
It doesn't matter who's playing. If they spent 30 quid for that ticket, they're going to show up 30 minutes before the doors open. The place is going to fill up, and they're going to be drunk by the time the first band is on. And that's how it worked with us, man. And they're supportive. They buy merch.
Yeah,
they
totally.
Honestly ask how the tour is going. They bring you food and water and stuff. It's like a whole different culture out there.
Oh, no doubt. I just got back from Download, and it's like, I love it there. And one of the publicists I deal with a lot, she's like, you should really move here because you could do a lot, all the festivals. And if it weren't for the bipolar weather, I probably would, because the people there and like, I just love it there. They're weather.
Passionate. Even the house sound guy in every venue for one of the tours, we used a house sound guy for our first run with Chris Barris last year. And back in April, I believe. And I was like, are we sure we're using house sound guys? Because in America, you use the house sound guy. They're like, great, another touring band, whatever. Here, can you hear yourselves? Okay,
right.
Smoke, and then something goes wrong, you can't find them. But in the UK, it's like an extreme passion. It's a career that people take very seriously. So we were in good hands no matter where we went.
Well, and I even find it from the press end because, I'm doing media coverage, and it's so welcoming when I do like Bloodstock or Download in the UK. It's like, and they even say straight out, like, I thank them for certain things. And they're like, hey, without you, we don't have a festival. And that is definitely not the attitude in the United States.
Wow. Yeah. Talk about respect. That's amazing.
Right.
It treats you like your person out there. You know what I mean? It's not like, yeah, we had some McDonald's for lunch, so we left you a few half cheeseburgers in the green room. By the way, the green room is a potty out back.
Right. Oh man, especially I'm in South Florida, and the place I least like covering shows is in South Florida because, really? Oh yeah, because like you're talking about how the sound guys are. Well, here the venues, they have like one guy. The buck stops with him at the door. I literally one time had my credentials on me. I just got done interviewing a band, and I had to actually call the band to come off the tour bus to tell him, yes, let me in.
It's
Like,
just people that take their jobs way too seriously. Some people
no doubt.
take the job of sound guy or stage manager, and they act like they're the fucking dictator of the venue. It's like it's hilarious. We're all there, to have fun, man. Like what?
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
And whereas to your point in the UK, like everybody is a cog in the wheel and they all respect it. It doesn't matter who it is. Like all together, everybody respects each other. And then it makes it easy on an artist like you, because there's nothing worse than being an artist and having a hard time when you're doing load in, sound check, because that's where your mindset needs to be good before you perform, you know?
And I've noticed the difference, especially playing various cities, you know, like LA and New York and various. Now, don't get me wrong. We played LA a couple times recently. We went back to the Whiskey twice. We went there with a gentleman named Jagger Bonham, which is Jason Bonham's son.
I've interviewed him, actually. He's so cool.
And we went back with Fozzy. And my sound experience at the Whiskey of all places, because people warn you about the Whiskey. They're like, all right, this is a Whiskey day. It's a throw and go. It's going to be a nightmare. That's how the Whiskey works. Not the case. We went. I immediately made friends with the sound guy. He knows a lot of close friends in the life, and he, you know, who he's toured with and various other bands. I'm not going to name drop, but once we made that connection, he was just immediately extremely accommodating, really took care of us, really gave us that same feeling that I get when we're in the UK. But I've noticed in America, a lot of the time it's, who the fuck do you think you are? But then you go to the UK, and in the UK they go, hey man, you're going to be somebody. Like, congratulations. Like, keep going. This is great. It's such a different view on things.
And the people love new bands. They love new bands, and you're right. I'm the type of person, if I go to a concert festival, whether I'm working or not, I'm in there before the first band plays and I'm out after the final band. Like, and I hate when I go with people and they want to sit out in the parking lot. Like, I didn't come here to sit in the parking lot. I want to go see the bands. Oh, we'll wait till the headliner comes. Yeah, bye.
Crazy.
You know, it's like, to me, it's the whole experience.
I'm a little guilty of this at my old hometown venue, but for two reasons, right? A, when I'm at shows, I like to smoke cigars. So when it's not like the main act, I still like to hear the band. Now, I was very spoiled for a long time out here because we have a place called Vamped that recently closed, Counts Vamped. Did you ever come to Vegas and check it out?
I don't think I've been to that venue. I've been to Vegas a lot.
So their sound guy was this gentleman named Pat, probably one of the best sound guys we've ever worked with. And whoever picks him up next is going to be extremely lucky. He really cared about his craft. And so new bands would come out and they'd open for whoever, you know, we were seeing that night. And we had the ability to get onto the patio away from, you know, where the show's actually happening. It'd still have the full show coming through the speakers.
Right.
Smoke your cigar, enjoy a couple drinks, talk to some friends. So I get that, you know, in situations like that, you're able to enjoy the new music, but, you know, you want to do your thing. You want to socialize. But it really just is a different monster in the UK. It really is.
Oh, no, they take that crap seriously. And both the UK and Europe, when I look at these campers, I'm like, now, they take it seriously, because the campers that are going to these festivals, they walk for like miles with all their camping gear, you know, and smile on their face, and they're dedicated. And it's kind of amazing to see. I'm a firm believer that everybody should like tour the world and see how other people live.
100%. It puts things into perspective and it humbles you, and it shows you that people can be good everywhere. It's easy to be kind, you know. And we went to Wales for our first time this last run through the UK, and we played. Man, I'm trying to remember the name of the festival. It was an amazing festival. And they had us up first band of the day in a tent, at 11 a.m., barely a sound check. We're exhausted. And I mean, there was frost on the grass outside. It was so cold over there that the grass looked gray from all of the ice that was attached to it.
Right.
And it was beautiful. It was like we were playing in the Shire, you know what I mean? The Lord of the Rings. And when I tell you the tent filled up at 11 a.m., the minute they opened those doors, people didn't know who we were. There were some fans that had seen us with Chris Barris, who we were touring with, and he ended up playing later in the evening. But the place stacked up, and they were just like, all right, let's go. Rock out, guys. We're here for you. Most of them were like 3 beers in at 11 a.m., and it was just an absolute blast. So supportive.
And like in the European, it like goes all night long. People are just, I don't even think they sleep a whole weekend.
That's awesome.
But here's what's wild. So I do Hellfest, but the year after COVID, they had 360 bands. And I was talking to a bunch of bands, and they said not one band went off late, and every band, their sound check was perfect in 5 minutes, and they weren't exaggerating. It was like, and they're like, man, that makes it so easy. Then I could just go back and chill out before the set. It was like, can you imagine that? 5 minutes and your sound's perfect from not your sound people.
That's people that love what they do.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? We experienced that firsthand with a sound guy we started working with in the UK named Arnie. And our first day with him, it was, I mean, obviously it takes a while to plug everything in and do this and that. But the moment we got everything dialed in, like, sound was coming out of where it was supposed to, it took him 5 minutes. It was just boop, 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 boop. You got what you need in your ears. All right, let's run a song, see how it sounds. And like the first song run, I was like, I'm hearing better than most shows I've ever played. So it really is. When people don't see it, it's just like a chore, like, okay, this is what I'm doing for money. It really shows.
Oh, my head engineer at the station, he passed away a few years back, but he was one of my best friends, and he was like that. When I first started the network 18 years ago, we would sit there in the studio, and he's like, do you hear that? I'm like, no. He goes, we need to fix that. I'm like, okay. Like he would hear shit that nobody else heard. But what was cool about it is there are other people that would hear it and make a determination. Or, I see it a lot in my industry. You hear some of these podcasters that they watch a YouTube video and they decide they can just start a podcast, and then their sound quality is so bad that I don't care what you're saying now. I can't handle listening to it,
It's like a cell phone in a red Solo cup, and they're like, yeah, so my favorite thing is this. What do you guys think?
Right? Totally. So, like, it is so important when you're the artist, even if we don't notice that in the audience, it bothers you if that sound is not perfect because, you want to perfect your craft.
It gives you an added sense of confidence too. Even if you're going to bring it to the table, if you're going to melt faces and rock the crowd, when you have that confidence from everybody is having a good time, everything is in check. It's all just like you said. It's all a cog in the bigger machine. Yeah, it almost just the show just plays itself. It's great,
and you don't have to worry about crap at all. Because you're trusting it in somebody else's hands that knows what they're doing, but more importantly, cares.
Yep.
I think that's the key.
It goes from surfing the waves, instead of trying to endure the storm of, oh God, what's going to happen next? You know what I mean? Like it's
no doubt. And this is the type of industry, I think, if you're not having fun, this is the wrong industry. It should be fun. Like it is a fun industry. Maybe not for everybody, but it should be for anybody that's in it.
Completely. I mean, this industry, you are in charge of being the soundtrack to your consumer's life.
Yeah.
Everybody sees their life like a movie, man. Whether they want to admit it or not, in some way, they see themselves as a main character in whatever story that they're making up here. And
no doubt.
They want you to create the atmosphere to enhance their experience in life. That's your job.
Totally. So, How did it feel when you got the call that you were joining Wednesday 13 and Drowning Pool?
When I got the call for Wednesday 13, I immediately called my drummer Kyle because he's best friends with all those guys. I love Wednesday 13. We were actually for a short period of time under the same management a few years back, and I got to see them live a few times in Vegas, and I've always been so blown away. And the guy literally, I've never gotten to really talk to him after the show because when he goes up there every night, their singer, he leaves it out all out on the stage.
Oh yeah.
This guy was getting off the stage and I was watching him just like drenching sweat, exhausted, like, but people trying to talk to him. He's like, okay, yeah, cool. This guy works his fucking ass off, and so does the rest.
Oh, no doubt.
So I would always kind of keep my, there will always be another time and place to maybe meet him and get to know the guy and pick his brain about stuff. But I've always wanted to talk to him about his process and where he gets these ideas from. So hopefully we'll have a few moments like this on tour. But it's the rest of the guys I got to meet mostly at the most recent Sick New World in Vegas because, like I said, my drummer Kyle knows them, and they're probably one of the sweetest group of dudes I've ever met. Super cool, super professional. This is going to be a lot of fun. I'm really excited for this. And then when we got the call for Drowning Pool, I asked 3 times for them to repeat the name. I didn't believe it because I mean that's the music from my childhood. Like I said before, our industry is creating the soundtrack for people's lives.
No doubt.
When I was a kid, that was my soundtrack. That me getting ready for school every day, either getting on the bus or getting a ride from my parents, thinking nobody understood me. I've got Drowning Pool's first record in my ears going like, nobody better mess with me at school today. Nobody gets me up, whatever. You know how it is when you're, a young teenager.
Totally.
But, feeling like I was the coolest thing in the world, listening to, that whole first record. And now we get to tour with them. It's
and they are so cool too. Like as human beings, like I'll be interviewing them at Incarceration next week, but I've interviewed them before and they're like, I love doing interviews with them because they're just cool dudes and nice dudes, great human beings, and just chill, like no attitude whatsoever, just having a good time.
I've never seen another band as heavy as them, except maybe for like Slipknot, somebody else. I mean, we could debate heaviness all day, but that has their song Bodies has become like a household name, household sound.
Right.
Maybe people don't know the name of the song. Maybe they don't even know who's playing it, right? But when they hear it and the count happens, before the chorus and everything, everybody knows it. I've seen old people that don't listen to metal hear that and go, 1, nothing's wrong with me. 2, nothing's wrong. It's everywhere. And so it's to be able to have achieved that type of just like, I don't know, being known like that. It's extremely impressive.
And see, what I love about hearing this, it's just like, okay, so Ozzy just had his last performance and what was said about him, which is so true. He's always just been the biggest fan. And you talking like that, again, going back to the soundtrack of your life, any great artist that I've ever met, they're a fan first, musician second.
Yeah, absolutely.
So what else do we want to tell the listeners about the Nocturnal Affair and what you have coming up, or also give out your socials, web, how they can buy your merch, all that good stuff.
Right now? Or are we recording?
We're recording, but we're going to be live. So
So whenever this airs, either this is going to happen or this already happened, but we are dropping our latest single for the summer. We have covered Hadaway's song "What Is Love," and we've spiced it up a bit. So we did a music video with our friends in Kill Pop Media and Hinson Media in Vegas, and we're dropping it Wednesday or Thursday, depending on your location in the world. And that's exactly what we're touring on this summer. So it's
nice.
Song of the Summer, What Is Love? And you could find everything about us on our website, nocturnalaffair.com. The Nocturnal Affair is how we go by on Instagram. And I mean, yeah.
Nice. And any other things you want to share with the listeners that we haven't covered already that they should know about your band and, why they should come see you live and listen to you?
I mean, I think they should determine if they should come see us. They should go listen to our music. Go check out our latest singles. We've got our single Cross Me Out that just got finished doing a radio campaign. We landed number 28 on the Billboard Rock Charts in America with that
badass song, by the way.
And then we've got a little bit of a heavier song that we didn't do a radio campaign on called Benefit of Doubt, which we released shortly after. Little bit heavier. It's definitely got that old school kind of new metal influence coming out of it. A little more high energy. So go give those, a listen. If you like what you hear, come hang out with us. And if you don't like what you hear, at least come out to see Wednesday 13 in Drowning Pool because they're amazing.
Well, that is definitely going to be amazing, all three of you. And thanks for giving us great music, and because that's the best therapy there is. And you are providing us with the soundtrack to our lives. So thank you for that, and thanks for being on the Adventures of Pipeman.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for listening to the Adventures of Pipeman on W4CY Radio.